Welcome to my platform. I'm Roland Adigoke. This is the Oasis of Life, the citadel of excellence and the castle of wisdom. I just want to encourage you, learn to speak up. There is a system created, and the system created is for the survival and sustainability of our world. But sometimes you discover few individuals that may want to circumvent the system. They've networked together and they've formed a kind of network of evil to oppress and exploit the poor that have no voice or have no one to speak on their behalf. And like somebody told me some years ago, that if it is in your power to help and you choose not to help, he said help will come, but know for sure it came not through you. There are individuals already established, well to do, powerful, influential, and famous. They will not be part of the evil of oppression, but their own weakness is that they will always be quiet and silent when the evils are being perpetrated. As it's always been said, that in the end, we will not remember the attack of our enemy, but we will remember the silence of our friends. You are there for a purpose. The wealth, the influence you have today is for a purpose. You have to be like Gamaliel that will speak against the evil and fight for the cause of the oppressed and exploited. The best weapon you can use, the best ability you have to display in defense of the oppressed and the exploited must be employed. You can't afford to be quiet over the concern and the welfare of the oppressed. Yes, there are rules, yes, there are regulations, there are mode of operations, but there are certain individuals that wouldn't want to follow. They want to operate based on their own rules. Whether at the home front, in your community, in your place of work, learn to be the voice that speaks against the wickedness of our society. I remember in the religious circle, whether as a Muslim or Christian or any other religion you are practicing, in a place of worship, we speak vehemently and forcefully against evil. We preach against what is wrong. But in our places of work, in our business services or business centers, we keep quiet. We only feel this does not affect me. Or we feel we have a reputation to protect. So on that note, I will only be quiet when things are going wrong, once I'm not affected. May I disappoint you a little? That the reputation you are trying to protect today may eventually go down the drain tomorrow. The wealth you are accumulating today for your children and generations to come may eventually go up in flame when the outcome, the consequences, and the repercussions of your silence begin to play. Speak up. When history is to be written about your place of work today, about your community, what role will be documented in your respect? You should be the voice that speaks in defense of the masses, of the poor, of the oppressed, of the exploited. They may not have the strength to withstand the rigor. They may not have the voice to speak up. They may not have the financial power to go on a legal tuxedo and fight for their rights. But your system is actually not helping matter. It is rather complicating it. In the end, we will not remember the attack of our enemy, but we will remember the silence of our friends. Rwanda genocide remains a kind of darkness on our world today. The history of our world has been affected, contaminated by the silence of the United Nations and strong nations, countries of the world that could have prevented the genocide of Rwanda. or at worst, reduce the negative effects, reduce the number of lives and souls lost. There's so many nations, and even the United Nations in its entirety chose to be quiet. Today we bring wreaths, memorials, to celebrate in quotes. But the souls that are dead and gone, they are gone. The families, the children that were butchered, the memories still remain fresh. It is a dent, it is a stain on our world. Once again, we saw mankind, humanity descending into anarchy, brutality of an animalistic world. The crisis in your place of work, the little conflicts in your family, in your community. Don't choose to be quiet. We don't want to hear the preaching in the church. We don't want to hear the shouting and the screaming in the mosque. We don't want you to admonish us in your various religious places. Stay there and solve the crisis. If at worst you can't stop it in its entirety, be a voice that will speak against it. Let the system know that you are standing for what is right. Let the network of evil know for sure that you are never in support of their evil practices. The exploited poor are flesh and blood like you. Some of them know that they are not good. The only that did not have opportunities that you had while you were growing up. Now you are a big shot in the society. You are a big man with influence and power. Use that influence, use that power, use that authority to influence things to their own advantage. Let things work out. Let's make this world a better place. Remember your wealth, your position, your certificate, your money. One day you will leave them behind and move on to the world beyond. All of the certificates of recognition we receive in life will fade. The monuments we build will crumble, trophies will corrode, but what we do for others will make a lasting impact on our world. You shall always be remembered by what you have done. When we talk about racial discrimination and the fight for the freedom in America today, Martin Luther King Jr. can never be forgotten. When we talk about civil war in various countries of the world, the key players are always mentioned. Those that sued for peace and those that defended evil. When we talk about crisis, commotion, economic meltdown, misfortune affecting our world today, there have been certain key stakeholders, key players, whether on the side of good or on the side of evil. On which side do you belong? You can't maintain or be on the fence. You cannot be on the middle line. You have to choose where you belong. Be the voice that speaks in defense of the poor. Be the voice that speaks in defense of what is right. Let the system know that you have played your part. Then the future will have a better memory of you. Let our world be a better place. Just because you are there today does not mean somebody else will not be there tomorrow. Your silence will never help. Speak up to be heard. Speak up and speak right. I remain your partner in progress, Roland Adegoke.